Right guys, so the event is coming to a close. You can pretty much say it is done, because if you go to here and you try to do anything, what does it say? It says the event is ended. Okay, so event has ended, everything has been done. What did we learn from this event? We learned that they are trying, unsuccessfully, but they are trying to limit the use of Adon, right? We've seen that, especially with Hugo, although you could still use Adon with Hugo, and you would still get the best score if you used Adon with Hugo. It was just a lot more difficult, but it seems that they are so averse to nerfing units that they would rather try to make bosses not Adon damageable, and they're failing, okay? So they're definitely trying to, in their own way, deal with the issue of Adon. But getting these new bosses, I want to say, was relatively fun. Relatively fun. You had to do some outside the box thinking for some of them. I'd say that out of all of them, probably Hakan early on was the most fun. I think Hugo was just frustrating, and I think that Rose was just, to some degrees, RNG. I mean, not too much, right? But with Rose, I definitely had runs where, like, just out of nowhere you died because of how her kit was, right? Which was annoying, but all you had to do was go again. It wasn't like you had to hunt for the RNG, but the RNG was there, right? So we learned that they're trying to essentially temper Adon somewhat, right? We also learned from the player base that players like Pity. Who would have known? Who would have known that players like Pity? Okay, obviously we got the return of these mileage markers where every time you done a certain amount of summons, you were able to get yourself a copy of the unit, or a box where you could choose one of the units, right? What did we also learn? Well, did we really learn it? I don't know. They got very lazy in this event, okay? Very, very lazy in this event. I've seen people say before that, oh, this is just a copy-paste, this is just a copy-paste, because every event follows a certain formula. It uses Battle Lust, you fight a boss, you do the cyborg attack stages. That is what events, generally speaking, are. There's not a lot of variation there. But Homecoming Adventure was literally a copy-paste. Part 2 and Part 3 of this event were wholesale lifted from the Vega event. That was just peak laziness, right? I don't want to see that happening in future, right? It was nice to have this Portal event returning, but to just copy paste it from an earlier event, come on guys, you can do better than that. So what did they need to do going forward? Obviously stop copy pasting. People want them to reinvent the wheel. I'm here to tell you guys, they're not going to reinvent the wheel, right? You're not going to get magical new modes appearing. You might get a different presentation, you might get a different implementation, but you won't get a different mode, right? This game is going to forever be your team versus stages, or versus bosses. That's the game, right? Don't expect there to be a new stage that they add where they put a sedan in the middle of the screen and you've got to use your team to destroy that sedan, a la Street Fighter 2 bonus stages. That would actually be quite cool. Get the highest score about breaking the vehicle each stage. You clear, you maybe go from a sedan to an SUV to a tank. That would be pretty cool actually. I think they should bring that into the game. Street Fighter bonus stages, I would like that. Anyway, it'd be better than secret training anyway. But that would be cool if you could do that. But they're not going to do that, right? They're not going to do that. But if you are going to bring in more of these portal type stages, which I appreciate because they introduce elements that I can do guide videos on, right? Don't just copy one that you've done before. Like, make it new, okay? That would make more sense. If we go with Turtles Part 1, Part 1 of that story was enormous. It took forever. And then Part 2 was like 2 seconds. Part 3 took next to no time. And then this whole entire story was nothing. And they forgot that Bison existed. It was supposed to be a continuation of that first story. It made no sense. At least have some cohesive thinking if you're going to do that, right? I don't care about stories, but if you start the story, finish the story, right? Do that, right? But the one thing that I think they need to do from here on out, okay? Now, the way that feedback works is feedback is not implemented immediately. So let's just say this is, well, not let's just say it is, this is May. Feedback that you receive for your product in May, you're probably not likely to put it in place for June, okay? July, August is when you might start to see that feedback being implemented into the game, okay? So the one thing that I think they need to do from here on out is the pity. This mileage marker system should be here for every new banner, okay? Now, here's the caveat to that, and I understand that they do not want to have permanent pity for whatever reason, okay? That's fine. We're at a point now where having a little bit of breadcrumbs is better than what we've had in the past. So, anytime you launch a new unit, it comes with an event. We know this, we're used to this. We have a 14-day event period, okay? During that 14-day event period, this should be the setup for summoning that new unit. So if you decide I'm going for that new unit while it is new, you would have this mileage style pity system. After the event period, the unit would join the regular standard pool, which would obviously just be our bog standard special summoning pool, and it would be like this with no mileage marker, okay? I would like to have the mileage marker here, guys, but it's not going to happen, so you have to make trade-offs somewhere. So if you make it that when a unit is new, if players decide, okay, I'm going to go in for that unit, I do not know what that says, someone can translate in the comments down below, I know it says Brazil. But when you release a new unit, you give players the option to summon during that period of time. 2 weeks, pity is available. After 2 weeks, pity's gone, unit returns to the standard pool, and it's back to awful summons like this. If there's anything that needs to stick, anything from this event, that is the one single thing that we need to see sticking from this event. 100% all the way. So, top joy if my dulcet tones can somehow cross the ocean and make their way to mainland China and permeate your ears. Let it be known that as players, we would like you to continue doing that for new units as they're added to the game. Simple as that. So one thing that needs to stop is you need to stop being lazy, but one thing that needs to stay is the pity on every new unit that drops in the special summoning pool for events. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about the event overall. I don't think anyone can argue that from playing and being rewarded, it was better than any other events. But the drop off is going to be insane if we just go back to normal. Other events have been good, but nothing has been as rewarding as this. And if we're just going to go back to doing the standard events again, they're going to seem so much worse because this event was so rewarding. But let me know in the comments down below how you feel. I've been Hayzink, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.